special treat, one of the league's longest-serving and cleverest coaches joins us for the entire program. The Falcons' Tom Wisman can afford to sit back and take a long look at the finals and the future of these. Hurrah, and Darren Smith was doing it one more time for the fans and the free agents list.
Watch this.
David Stiff finds it's a little quicker coast to coast in Tassie than it is on the mainland.
Stiffy says, I got the handle. Stiff. There's number one on our highlight package. Stiffy coast to coast with the spin.
Speaking of which, the faithful few who knew where Hobart was going had the last word on where they think the National League is going. Toughest plays of the week. James Crawford, who could squeeze blood out of a stone after making this one.
Yasser Windy will take off. Crawford.
Leroy's last second three should have been rewarded by more than a frustrating single-point loss, but it was pretty to watch. Likewise, these half-court heroics from Drewy, taken away by the refs.
Let's have a look at Andrew Gage. Almost made it. Oh, he did! Incredible finish. Oh, they didn't give it to him. You're kidding, Malcouba.
But Isaac Burton was able to keep the points and the applause. Assist of the week, Simon Curl finding the rampaging Matt Scalzi. Solo slams. Well, David Van Dyke, one of few players to upstage Mark Branke this season. Marvellous Melvin Thomas takes the law into his own hands at the Kingdome. And you might not believe it, but little Aaron Honeyman actually came up with the week's best jam, literally. It was a week for terrifying transitions, and guess who finishes this one at the Derwent?
Smith just look out, baby. That's not sure anymore.
Let's try that again. This time, you have to give Jerome Scott just a little credit.
The Burners. Oh, it leads up a spell. He knew it was there.
Come on, kids, make a noise.
Butch Hayes has done this plenty of times in 1996, but there have been few better finishes. The Falcons fly again. Scott McGregor caps this play.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
Sixer sensations, and Leon shines not once, not twice.
Trimmingham gets up and causes all sorts of problems. Watch this.
But 3 times, and this is a Brunson burner at the powerhouse.
Throws it up on purpose. That wasn't a missed shot. That was planned. As Brunson deliberately throws it against the backboard, sees Leon on the trail.
Perth transition and some sleight of hand from the Fish.
He's lost his shooting touch. Now running, no look pass. Fish at a fourth.
Giants transition. D-Mac demoralizes the Wildcats.
Open court.
And Sydney sings when they turn that ball from D to O. And one of Ruth Sapwell's last memories of Geelong will be Melbourne's monstrous figure looming above him. Finally, it was a week crowned by spectacular alley-oops. Sam McKinnon saved a stunner for Hobart's last game. Same game, and Frank Drimmich sets up Chris Anstey for this. But for sheer skill, catch and control with one. Sets up Chris Anstey for this amazing reverse. But for sheer... It's hard to toss Darren on the end of a Jerome Scott.
Have a look at this one. Slam. Look at the extension. Oh, baby.
What a week, and what a way to say goodbye to Hobart.
I don't know, we kind of like to think that things went a little bit right. We've got a good young team. We had 9 changes in the end to a squad out of 12 players. We started with 8, and then we had a Ben Melmoth in the year. And it was a young team. It was always going to take some time, but we really were a strange team. We were called the Jekyll and Hyde team. We have just as good a record against the top 8 teams as we do against the 6 teams that didn't make or the 5 other teams that didn't make the playoffs. So we look at what we could have done, but really being in 9th place with a young team, we've got, I think, a good group of young talent together that have had court time now and have had a year's experience. It's probably a year that we'll look back on and say that it was a good year.
And it's the sort of team that for next year, you need only make 1, maybe 2 key adjustments, and the whole thing could click into a top 4 team.
Yeah, we'd like to think that, and we are looking at, you know, ways to improve the team, which you need to do, especially with it going from 14 to 11 teams now. Every year that I've been in the Mitsubishi Challenge, it's gotten tougher the next year, and next year will probably be more so. So we've got to look at getting the team better, but I think it's going to get better anyway with the experience that the young guys have had, and you know, having Butch come back with the team also will be a key for us. So we need to get that accomplished and have that leadership for the young guys, which was vital. But we feel that we will have a team next year that can challenge, yes.
Okay, now there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about later in the show. Tommy's going to start us that you've given permission to Scott Ninnis to talk to other clubs. I guess that's no big deal, really. That's sort of a matter of procedure more than anything else.
Well, I think that's, you're right, it's rumors, and at this stage, that's all that's out there, and there are plenty of them. But I guess with us wanting to, or it being rumored that we're talking to Tony, or that Tony may be coming to Newcastle, we are interested, of course. He's a free agent. We'll go through the proper channels when that happens. If that happens, Scott Ninnis would be the natural next rumor. But we'd like to find a way to retain Scott, and we're looking at that first. So we haven't given permission for him to talk, and we haven't had talks with Tony Jensen yet. So all that is speculation, but it's probably people try to do our jobs for us. They try to say what we should be doing, and sometimes we follow up on it.
There's no shortage of those, is there? Well, we'll elaborate, as I said. Let's go with the Sydney-Canberra game firstly, which